So in this video, I'm going to talk about doing the Ommi. I really love this move. To me, it feels really good in my body. I do it just like while I'm brushing my teeth now. So I hope it feels good in your body too. So this movement, as I mentioned before, this is a pelvic circle. So before we were doing like big circles, this we're using more of our pelvis. And this is that kind of smoothed out version of that pelvic square that we were doing. So the pelvic square is going to train your muscles how to do this Ommi. Now this is a very muscle-based movement. So when you do a big hip circle, you're not using as many muscles. It's really more about shifting your weight when you do a big hip circle. But when you do a pelvic circle, it's all driven by your muscles. So there's a lot of different muscles that have to be strengthened here. So I think this is one of the important movements to do when you're strengthening your pelvic floor, because you're engaging so many different abdominal and pelvic floor muscles, your psoas muscle, when you do an Ommi. And it's also really important to make sure that you practice doing them both sides. You're gonna have a favorite side. I do, and sometimes I don't really catch myself and I don't practice both sides, but it's really important to get that balance in your body and make sure that you practice them equally. So let's do the Ommi. And when you're doing it, I want you to really focus and bring your awareness to those pelvic floor muscles that are really driving it. Also, your psoas muscles really drive this movement too. They're really deep. Abdominal muscle that connects from your spine to your hip. So again, you want to have that little bit of a bend in your knees. That's super important here. If your knees are locked out, you're simply not going to be able to do it. So always check in with yourself and make sure that you have that little bend in your knee. So we're going to let's start with the pelvic square, and then we're going to smooth it out. So let's start with the pelvic square first. You're going to tuck, side, back, side, tuck, side, back, side, tuck, side, back, side, tuck, side, back, side. And if you haven't watched that pelvic square video, make sure you do that first before you do this one, because that's definitely a foundation of this movement. So the pelvic square looks like that. So now all we're going to do is smooth it out and really take your time with this. There's no reason to speed this up at this point. But I'm tuck, side, back, side, tuck, side, back, side, tuck, side. And I want you to focus on this up part. This is the most important part. The other ones I'm really kind of just relaxing. So I use less muscle in my obliques when I do an Ommi as opposed to a pelvic square. I use these muscles more actively when I do a pelvic square, but when I do an Ommi, I kind of just strong here and let everything kind of smooth out. Tuck, smooth, and then try the other side. Tuck, relax, tuck, relax, strong, soft, strong. Like that. And again, this upper body posture is really important here. Zip, relax, zip, relax. You're probably also going to feel these like glute medius muscles. They stabilize a lot. So you're probably going to feel something in here that's more normal than if you feel something here sore in your back. It feels like those muscles are working. But really concentrate on that up movement. Zip, relax, zip, zip. And you could even walk with this. Yeah, but just have fun. So that's the Ommi. Practice this one a lot. This is really going to help strengthen those pelvic floor muscles.